All right, family. Hey, y'all. Hey. Welcome back to another session of Meditations with Marini. So today, I really didn't know what I was going to talk about. I had a couple of ideas based on what I talked about yesterday. I think I want to come back with that title again. But I was listening to one of my fellow YouTubers, and he was talking about, and I'm going to try to say it right, hypergamy. I heard him say it, so I was able to repeat it. I had to listen to it actually a couple of times for him to say it in order for me to even be able to say it. So I've heard a couple of people talk about this on YouTube, and I've heard, quote unquote, I guess it's the process of dating up. So there is a movement of people who are saying that you should date up, date out of your, I guess, your dating category, right? And so my thing is, when it comes to stuff like that, it sounds so elementary. And when I think about the fact that my channel is for people that are 50 and above, if uh, I'm trying to figure out the words to even say, if a 50-year-old woman is only dating a man based upon his financial status, then she's missed the mark at our age. Now, I can see the younger people doing that because that's kind of the way that the world is moving. Everything is forecast, that everything is beautiful, is nice, is glorious. And all of that is so false. It's so far from the truth. And, even the word, the love of money. It's the love of money. It's not money itself. Money is not evil. Money is not ugly. But it's the love of money. The love of money scripture. I want to just find it for y'all. Um, and the bottom line is 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil. It don't say that money is. We need money in order to work. We need money to move the kingdom forward. So there is no lack of money that should be in the kingdom. When we think about the movement of God and how God has structured and set up the world for us to operate in it, the kingdom is supposed to be taking care of itself. But we have moved beyond just our needs into many of what we look at is what our wants are. And so 1 Timothy 6:10 says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred, basically erred in the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So basically it's saying that you've erred in the faith. If your move or connection to someone, whether it be a man and a woman or just friendships, if the move of the connection is based on money, it is never going to work. And I have to think about things like, I've tried many business ventures. Anybody that knows me, like, I've had all types of entrepreneurial type situations. I done sold home interior. I never did. I sold home interior. I've done network marketing. I've sold other products that I tried to, get that business off the ground. I was recently just a travel agent, and I'm getting ready to, that's going to be discontinued, because what I'm also looking at is sometimes we have the financial support that we need. We just might be using it a different way. And so one of the things that I'm looking at is the fact that I have multiple subscriptions for things that I really don't even use. So when I looked at my travel business, I had to look at how many. I kind of went into that business because I thought it would be an area that I would really be able to be successful in. And I will say that any business that you start, no matter what it is, if you see those people that are all the way at the top, they had to really, really grind and work to get there. That means day and night they were eating and sleeping and drinking that particular business. Well, for me, I just didn't have that much passion behind me in order to do that in that area. So therefore, it means that for the most part, I was not able to be as successful as I probably could have been. I didn't love it enough. I didn't have the passion enough for it. So it wasn't the love of the money, it was the love of the business that would have pushed me into that era. But when I think about people saying that they are dating for the purpose of financially coming up, it will never work. Because what do you do if he loses his finances? If And from my understanding, I guess it's a move of ladies that's doing it. Men probably too, but I'm mainly talking to the ladies today. If he loses his money, what do you do? Because with a man, you have to have something that is solid enough, that holds you to him, that captures you enough, that makes you dote on him in a way that when you don't like him, because marriage is, it don't mean that every day you like the person. Many days you really don't like that person. You may not like their ways, things that they do, but they might have some other qualities that supersede, or they that overshadow the things that you don't like. But if you only are with them for the purpose of money, it's never going to work. So, true story. I was dating a young man some years back. It was after my divorce. I met someone. He was probably the most financially stable guy that I have probably ever been in contact with. He had a good portfolio. He had his own business. He was working and moving in a direction that I felt like it was real good for me as well. And when he came to me, basically, we were doing some business ventures together, and he sat me down. He was like, hey, I want to date you. And I was like, eh. At first I was, no, because you really don't want to mix business and pleasure, because that just always goes bad. It goes downhill. And no, he was like, no, I mean, I could see us really rocking together. You know, I could see how you could add elements to my business, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. When we tried it, we did. And what I will say is that there were just some things that I saw, even in him being as financially stable as he was, that I was not going to be able to deal with long term. And there were some things about him that, in my opinion, one of the things that I shared with him around the last couple of times that we went out, or when I was basically letting him know that we would no longer be seeing each other, and he was like, I just can't believe it, you know, because also men that have money, they don't really think that you'll leave them, because they think a lot of times that your love for them is attached to the money. And one of the things that I remember telling him is that I said, I would rather have a man that has less to offer me, and he's willing to give me his everything, than to have someone who has everything and is not willing to give me nothing. And I'm not saying that because I'm looking for him to give me anything, but just the fact that I do anticipate or expect that my man would be willing to make whatever sacrifices needed for me. And there were some things that I felt like he could have done that he didn't do. And some of them were so minor. They were very minor things. And really, I won't talk about them on here. But there were some small things, such as I have boys, he had boys. If he was taking his sons to get their hair cut, and he knew my situation and or my circumstance, why wouldn't he then say, hey, babe, I'm taking the boys to get their hair cut, or I'm gonna cut their hair. How about you bring the boys by here? Or either, hey, I'm gonna make sure that they're taken care of this week, or something like that. Now, not that I needed him to do that, but any man that cares about you, he's gonna be in tune with that. If he has children and you have children, he is going to be in tune. If you are a woman that he is looking to bring into his life and into his circle and make you a part of his world, he is going to be in tune with what your needs are, as well as the things and the people that are connected to you and what those needs are as well. So don't let money be the driving factor. He had the money, but he didn't make provision for me. And in the end, when I expressed that to him, and I expressed my concerns, and I expressed certain things, he tried to make it seem like it was the business. Oh, you just upset because I don't have enough time. Let me tell you something about a man. Let me tell you something about a man, and let me tell you something about a man that cares about or wants to get to know a woman. He will move a mountain to get to her and spend quality time with her. He will not allow anything that is in his space to keep him from getting to a woman that he desires to get to know. And so in the end, I think that he thought that his money and the few little things that he might have done for me, because I remember one time he said he was doing something, I just said, just keep that. He said, what? I said, just keep it. No, because it was close to the end, and I didn't want him to think that I was, taking something from him and, then gonna break up with him. At that point, I already knew that that relationship was pretty much done. But I want to really go back and just talk about the fact that you can never date someone based on their things, their stuff. I would rather, and I even, like I shared with him, I'd rather have a brother that got a 2-bedroom shack that would give me his everything than to have somebody that has a mansion and wouldn't give me nothing. Because the dude that's in the 2-bedroom shack, as long as we together, I know he'll get up and go grind for me, just like I'll get up and go grind for him. So you don't ever want to put yourself in a position where you are dating for money, dating up. I was talking to a couple of friends and they were going on dates, right? And just to show you how there are different calibers of people. When they go on a date, they're like, girl, I bought a new dress, I bought me some new red bottoms, I bought this, I bought that, I bought this. And so by the time they finish getting their hair done, getting their nails done, going to get their face beat, their makeup put on, getting their new outfit, going to get their massage or whatever it is, they've spent like $400 or $500 just to go on a date. And so what I am saying to you as a Christian woman is, don't ever let the love of money become the root of why you're with a man, because at some point you are going to not respect him, one, and you are not going to love him the way that he desires to love. Most men don't really care about love, because if you respect them, that shows them that you love them. But if you don't respect him, you definitely can't love him. And so that is going to be a disaster just waiting to happen. It is going to crumble. Like it's going to crumble. Like knocking the foundation from up under a building. It is never going to work. So don't ever let, and don't be fooled. I have to give y'all a story. I'm going to have to do a story on my daddy. Don't be fooled by a man that wears a pair of pants and a shirt with his name on it that says maintenance. Don't be fooled by that. My daddy was a maintenance man for most of his life. That's who he was. But don't be fooled by his ability to be able to provide for his family. Because some of his income didn't come from his 9 to 5. It came from the skills that he had outside of his 9 to 5. I know some people who have license in like electrician or HVAC, and they make way more money than people that's going to a 9 to 5 every day, and people that got degrees. So you can't base it on that. You have to know that you are moving in a direction where you are basing it on, how does this person treat me? How does he honor me? How does she respect me as the head of this household? Does she honor the decisions that I make? Or does she undercut that every time that I make a decision? Because the other thing is, when you call yourself dating up, you don't get a chance to make a whole lot of decisions. He ain't going to ask you for your opinion or what you think about something. He's just going to do it, and you just got to live with it. See, that would never work for me anyway. But anyway, okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox. That's it. I need for you guys to click like. I need for you to share it with a friend. And I need for you to subscribe. If you like it, put something in the comments and let's talk about it. Bye.